Hey guys, welcome back. Check this one out. All right, well, this is kind of cool. I mean, it's definitely not supposed to do that. So, what I believe happened here is the hold down bolt broke and the pin worked its way out, started wearing at an angle. They noticed it, realized the bolt was broken, welded the pin with whatever bird poop welds those are. And because of the amount of slop in there, there's no way the pin can be rigidly mounted. So it broke those, and the pin just stayed in there at an angle and just kept beating up that bore. And there's something hitting there, way out of alignment. You can just see how it's wearing on everything. This is kind of concaved in right here. This side right here isn't terrible, but it's all gonna have to get done. And then he said they never really grease anything. So of course the bottom holes are loose. I'm not gonna show anything on the bottom holes, but we'll do this one. I'll bring you guys along on this one. Line boring, fixing, or extracting. That's probably not gonna come out, so we might have to drill and tap that. But we'll clean all it up. All right, well, that's the deal. Let's get to it. I already got some of the edges, got the edges sanded down there. Now we're gonna work on filling that divot in. We're gonna use the Sol Miller-Matic 200. I just recently bought this and it seems to be working pretty well. All right, fill that sucker in. All right, I got her smoothed out here. It's not 100% perfect, but pretty good. So for all that, we used a 3M Cubitron. That was brand new when we started. It still looks almost new. One thing on the Cubitrons is they don't actually grind the metal, it cuts it. And what I mean by that is, if you can see, those are all little slivers. It's actually cutting it like a drill bit or a mill instead of physically like grinding it off. I don't know, I just cannot get enough of the 3M stuff. The Cubitron, it's amazing. And they make that same thing in like the hard wheels and cutoff wheels. I don't know if there's any over here, but they make them in, and you know, the hard grinding wheels. It's just, it's the cat's meow, I guess you could say. So, all right, now we're gonna get our bar set up in there and then do a clean cut. Okay, there's always questions on how you set something up. How do you find center? How do you make it true on something that's so messed up? So the top of these bores is a lot closer to the correct, I guess you could say, measurement. So the centering cones, you want to make sure they're touching on the top. And then that will be close enough to where we have enough room, our bearings here, and we could move that bearing around to zero it in. If this dropped, I can't really see. If that dropped down into that low spot, then the bar would be tilted more, and it would be more difficult to get the bearing zeroed in. And then you only have, depending on how you set it up, but there's only a 1/4 inch or so of play here. So then you could easily run out of travel on here, and then you'd have to like kind of redo the setup. So that's kind of how I do that. And then we're going to go off of the outside of this one, and then this radius on this one to kind of center it up. And then we'll take measurements from the other bores to the bar. We'll go off of the keyway line, and we'll go down. I'll show you that. And then we'll go down and measure that. All right, so we've used a piece of wire here to follow the outside of that. Did the same thing on this side. Got that dialed in. Took a tape measure. We measured from down here to the edge, both sides. That's the exact same number. So I think we're good to go here. All right, we'll do our clean cut. Okay, got our clean cut. So I'm gonna weld this by hand. I think it'd be easier than setting the bore welder up and doing pi mode and all that. It's really not a whole lot. So we'll weld that by hand, and then we'll cut it again to get it nice and round, and then we'll get out the bore welder. All right, got that welded. Didn't take very long. Now we'll do a clean cut on that, and then bore weld it. Got a quick view of it. Just a tiny bit low, no problem there. All right, I'm gonna get all this bore welder set up here and get to welding. All right, we got our first pass. Our first pass in there. It appears it's gonna take one more, possibly two. This one will probably take 3 or 4. All right, second pass going. And come to find out, I bought that Trailblazer, and it just occurred to me that I could possibly run this welder off it because it has that remote port, and I was right. So we can run the Climax bore welder off of the Trailblazer. If anybody was ever curious about that, you can do it. we got first pass on this side. I messed with the settings a little bit and I came out way better. Way better than that side. Like first time that I have ran it off of 302. So I guess I was off by a tiny bit, but we're good now. All right, 2 more passes on this side and then start cutting it. All right, we got it all cut. My insert actually broke on this one, so it's a little bit rougher of a cut versus that one, but it's fine, we can buff it out. All right, we're gonna take the bearings off and then we're gonna smooth out the edges with the grinder, and then we're gonna chamfer it a little bit with a little chamfer tool and test fit the pin. Should be good to go. That looks a little bit better. All right, now we'll mess with this broken bolt here. I don't think it's going to come out with an extractor, but we'll try it. All right, so now we're working on this broken bolt. It's a John Deere bucket. I'm assuming it's metric. This is how this is supposed to mount in here. So there would be like a bushing. This one's the wrong size. I happen to have this, but it's the wrong size. So this would go inside here, and then you have a bolt with a big washer that would cover that. That way the pin can still kind of move in and out and sideways just a little bit. The pin can move just a little bit, and then the bolt is pinching down on that sleeve nice and tight, so it can't really go anywhere, but it has just a tiny bit of movement. Because if you were to bolt that down hard, just run a bolt in there and pinch it like that, and that pin moves a little bit, it'll break the bolt off. All right, so now I think this is the right bolt, the right thread, seems to be correct, but we're gonna try to extract that, and then we'll have to make one of those bushings to fit inside here. All right, we drilled down the center of the bolt. Should just be just inside of the threads. I believe it is a 16 2.0. We have a 16 2.0. And then we're just gonna run that. I gotta get it straight. We're gonna run that down there and hopefully push out what's left in there. Perfect. So you want that to be able to move just a tiny bit. All right, we got that bore all wrapped up. So this video was kind of a really quick, shorter video, a little more fast-paced, a lot less explaining what I'm doing, things like that, more straight to the point. Do you guys like that type of video? Or if I did something like this, do you want something that's like super detailed and explained to where it's, you know, like over an hour-long video? So let me know what type of video you guys want to see, and then, you know, maybe I'll do that in the future. All right, well, that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for the next one.